Have you ever had that feeling where the more your business succeeds, the more chaotic it gets? Today, we're going to dig into this really fascinating, kind of counterintuitive idea, the growth paradox. It's the whole concept that the very success you're built to chase can actually become the thing that breaks you. It's a paradox a lot of leaders feel, but can't always put into words.
And this quote just nails the core idea perfectly. See, it's not that growth itself is the bad guy here. Not at all. Instead, think of growth as the ultimate stress test. It shines this massive spotlight on every single part of your operation and reveals whether your foundations are truly solid enough to support where you're trying to go.
So let's really unpack this growth paradox. We're going to look at exactly why that awesome feeling of success often comes with this underlying sense of chaos. And we're going to discover why just having ambition on its own is never, ever enough to sustain that growth. Think about it like this. As you add more clients, more orders, more people to the team, you're putting more and more weight on your company's structure, right? And if there are any cracks in your systems, your communication, or your processes, and there always are, that weight is going to expose them. Those little inefficiencies you could kind of ignore before, they suddenly become huge, show-stopping bottlenecks. And what happens when all these cracks start showing? Well, you, the leader, you get pulled right out of the driver's seat. Instead of steering the ship and actually planning the course ahead, you're constantly just running around putting out small fires. And that firefighting, that's a classic symptom of a much, much deeper problem.
And this is really where the problem starts to deepen, because all this operational chaos, it's not just some business issue on a spreadsheet. It has a very real, very human emotional cost. It creates this predictable, draining spiral for everyone involved, especially for the people at the top.
It almost never begins with some massive explosion. Instead, it starts small, with these little nagging issues, a sense of confusion here, an inefficiency there. They seem minor at first, but they just start compounding, day after day, week after week. It's just this feeling that things are harder than they need to be. This feeling, it evolves in three pretty distinct stages. First, it starts as frustration with all the daily bottlenecks. Then, that frustration turns into a really deep fatigue because none of your quick fixes seem to stick and any progress feels like you're wading through mud. And eventually, that fatigue gives way to actual fear, that terrifying realization that you've lost control and the business is now running you. So how in the world do you escape this spiral? Well, the answer isn't more software or more dashboards or more complexity. Nope. The true solution is a really fundamental shift towards something called alignment. It's all about getting clarity. And it all begins with your people. Are the right people in the right roles? Are they actually empowered with the information and the freedom they need to make great decisions and do their best work without someone constantly looking over their shoulder? Okay, next up, you absolutely need robust processes. These are the structured workflows and systems that dictate how work actually gets done. Without clear processes, your team can't scale. It's impossible, because they're just relying on making it up as they go, which is completely unsustainable when growth starts piling on the pressure. And finally, technology. The real role of technology is to support and automate your processes. It's about giving your people the tools and the data they need to be efficient and effective. It's the enabler, the force multiplier for the whole operation.
So here's the crucial point. These three things, people, processes, and technology, they aren't separate things you can just work on in a vacuum. They're deeply interconnected. Having great people with bad processes just leads to burnout, and having great tech with flawed processes just means you automate the chaos. They absolutely have to work in perfect harmony.
And that harmony, that is exactly what we mean by alignment. When you get there, the entire dynamic of growth just shifts. It stops being this destructive force that breaks things and instead becomes a creative one that builds incredible, incredible momentum. So what does this actually look like in the real world? When you achieve this trifecta of alignment, your business fundamentally transforms. You literally move from a constant state of chaos to one of powerful clarity. And the difference is, well, it's night and day. On one side, you've got chaos. You're firefighting, flying blind with messy data, and just constantly hitting bottlenecks. But with clarity, all of that changes. You're leading strategically, you're making decisions with clear insights, and you're building real momentum. It's a complete change in the rhythm of the entire business. And this clarity, it delivers real tangible results. Decisions get made faster because the right information is actually available. Your teams feel empowered because they understand the process and their role in it.
your results start to become predictable. And maybe most importantly, profit and resilience aren't things you have to fight for anymore. They just become the natural, default state of your business.
Ultimately, this whole thing leads to a really profound shift in mindset. An aligned, thriving business creates its own kind of gravitational pull. You stop that frantic chase for more clients and more revenue because your smooth, efficient, and resilient operation just starts to attract success, almost effortlessly.
So as we wrap this up, I'll leave you with one simple but really powerful question to ask yourself. And be honest, take a good look at your day-to-day. Is your business running you, or are you running it? The answer to that? Well, it reveals everything.